And, of course, he is the current New South Wales Origin coach. Laurie Daley, welcome to the Dead Set Legends.
Morning, guys. Geez, I feel sorry for you.
Well, mate, I know. Look, it's a tough
For me,
gig.
Loz, or for Maroon?
For both of you boys.
Yeah, you got that right. Mate, how are you? Obviously, big day on Monday, so you'll be watching all the footy over the weekend, Loz, and then obviously, mate, I just everyone's got an opinion on the side and what it should be, but you're the man that puts the pen to the paper, and that'll happen on Monday night.
Yeah, no, been watching a little bit of footy over the weekend. Obviously, last night we didn't have too many guys involved, but yeah, I mean, on Monday we announced the team, so looking forward to that. Obviously, plenty of anticipation of what that side may look like. But yeah, I think that, regardless of what it is, it'll be very competitive and it'll be a team that we think we can win with.
Mate, I hate the term dead rubber because there's never a dead rubber in Origin if you've been involved in the concept at all. And I really think, look, I'd love to be going into a decider as you would and all New South Wales would, but the fact that the opportunity now to just have a look at some of the young guys, or if that's the way that you guys go, and the fact that we've got so many talented young New South Welshmen coming through, I believe it's a really exciting time for us.
Yeah, I think you're right, girls. I think there's a lot of good young players out there, and some of those guys will get an opportunity. And I think for us, it's about seeing what they've got and how they go about it. But there's certainly no such thing as a dead rubber. It's plenty to play for. We certainly don't want to be beaten 3-0. We've been very competitive in games 1 and 2 and quite possibly could have won one of those games. But unfortunately, while the series is over, we've still got plenty to play for, and we'll be preparing the team exactly that way. And, hopefully we can go out there and produce a victory for our supporters.
Loz, what have you learnt from the series this year and probably the last couple that you take away, and you have a fair bit of time sort of to manifest all the different ideas that you've sort of, through the experience you've had to put things in place for 2017? What would they be?
Yeah, I think it's an ongoing process, and what we've tried to do over the last couple of years since we won in 2014 is to slowly sort of move guys on and usher in some new guys, but at the same time trying to win, and that's always a difficult one. One of the things we need to do better. Our effort is great. I can't fault our effort, but just
Absolutely.
When moments roll around, their key decision-making players are just nailing it. And that's the difference between the two sides. And I think if you look at, the Storm and you look at Thurston, so if you look at Smith and Cronk and Thurston, they're very good players under pressure, and they make the right decision. And we've got to obviously limit their impact in a game. We're trying to do that, but sometimes good players just produce at the right time, and there's not much you can do about it. But we're confident though that we're heading in the right path, and we'll get there.
That really felt like the difference in game 2, Loz, was those players just identifying those moments, whether it was that Thurston kick and chase where he got Matty in the in goal, and then they just score points on the back of our errors and a little bit of our inexperience, and that's just great players taking advantage and acknowledging situations in games that comes through experience.
That's spot on, Gerds. And I think if you look at the last couple of years when we've been in tight situations and we haven't won, it'll come down to the decision-making process of those guys. And they're brilliant at it. I think Thurston's the best halfback I've ever seen.
Yep.
Smith's the best hooker I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Cronk has certainly come on and playing his best football. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult, but it's one that we should be excited about too, is to try and to beat them when they're at their best and learn. And I think that's the key for us, is to learn and nail those moments. We haven't done it this year, but again, I can't fault the guys' effort. They've been really committed, but we've just got to get better. We just can't keep saying the effort was good.
Hey, Loz, I'm just looking at Gerds' suggestions, if you like. All the experts get a crack at naming a side, if they had to name a side, as you know. In Gerds' side, we've got Joey Leilua coming in. We've got both the Trebojeviches.
Well, hang on. One of the Trebojeviches I'll bring into the system. I don't know what your thoughts are on young Tommy and Jake, Loz, but they're two players that really excite me about New South Wales and future Origin players.
Yeah, you're right, Gerds. I think, in particular, Jake's a good player, but young Tom, I think he's a pretty special talent, and someone that that will eventually play Origin. Now, whether it's in Game 3 or not, I'm not quite sure, but I've got no doubt that he'll be in a situation next year where he's, he'll be there. But
yep.
Yeah, I mean that might come a little bit earlier, but no, both those guys are good young talents, and we got some really good talented players coming through. We can't fit them all in, but I think you'll see a couple of them.
One of the toughest jobs, Loz, obviously, you can't ignore the form and the what James Tedesco brings to a side at club level. You can only imagine he would be able to achieve those sort of numbers and that sort of style of footy at Origin level. He seems like an Origin play, but Matty Moylan as well. Just a player of the future and a guy that's done a good job in the first 2 games. Yeah,
he has. Matty's been terrific. And, young James Tedesco was certainly putting his case forward before he was injured just before Game 1. So we got a lot of good talented players. It's just a matter of trying to fit them all in and where we put them, and some might miss out. They all might be there, but again, that'll be determined by what happens over the weekend with injuries and so forth. But yeah,
come on, Loz. Just tell us how you slide them in there. You're thinking about James on the wing, possibly? Is that an option?
I think with a guy like James Tedesco and Matt Moylan, they're both very talented, and I think they've got big futures at this level. But again, it'll come down to whether we can fit them both in, or whether we can fit one in, or whatever the case may be.
Will it any bearing, the fact that those two guys come up against each other this weekend? No,
mate. No. I think I wouldn't sort of select on one performance.
Yep.
I think you take it over a period of time, and again, we'll just see how they both pull up. See how young Adam Reynolds pulls up, or whether he plays on the weekend, and see what we come up with after that.
Loz, what about, so we've got a unique situation here in the moment as far as you and Kevy Walters are concerned, because you're both coaching Origin sides, but you both have never been the head coach at an NRL side. Are you looking to that, mate? Are you looking to get back into the system at an NRL club in the future?
To be honest, Maroon, I haven't thought of it, mate. I mean, my focus has always been on this, and obviously after the last couple of weeks, it's just been on Game 3, and that's what I want to do. I want to make sure that I prepare this team with no other distractions other than learning from our failures and making sure that we come up with a good performance that our state will be proud of, and that's what they demand every time we pull on that blue shirt. We've disappointed a lot of people, obviously, this year by not winning, but we can salvage something by getting out there and really having a real red hot crack and nailing it, and having people be proud of the team.
All right, Loz, you better get up to the local hall and vote, old mate. We'll catch you next time on the Dead Set Legends.
See you, Loz.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
There he is, Laurie Daley, the coach of the New South Wales Origin side of the Dead Set Legends. It's all thanks to Harvey Norman.